Money, 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 money. Hello, in this video, I'm going to be talking about making money, specifically all of the different ways you can make money and how much they leverage your time. Now, what do I mean by leveraging your time? Effectively, how much you can get paid for every hour you work. So it's pretty much that simple. The main concept I want you to get from this video is that getting paid isn't necessarily a one-time thing. It's actually a graph of income over time where for every hour you work, there's residual income you get from that hour. And so when it comes to maximizing the amount you get paid, you need to consider the entire graph, not just how much you get paid at the start. So what are the different ways of making money? Well, here's the TLDR list of what they are, starting with working. So working is something I won't cover too much in depth because everyone understands it. You go to your job and get paid hourly, so how much you get paid is based on how much you work. And effectively, education is leverage for a normal job because if you get a fancy degree, then you can get paid more hourly. So every hour of education you do is sort of giving you some residual income that you wouldn't have got otherwise. Education isn't always worth it though, because you have to consider the payback period for what you're doing and consider the opportunity cost. Now, this stuff could almost be a video in itself, but you do some maths and you work out, okay, doing the degree will give me an extra 20 grand a year, but in the meantime, I could have got paid $50,000 a year while I was doing that degree. So for 3 years, that's 150 grand of lost income, and then 20 grand a year. That means it will take you 7.5 years for your increased income to cover the opportunity cost of getting that degree. Now, of course, that doesn't take into account pay rises or like the upper ceiling on what you can get paid in that career. But that's the maths you need to do to figure out if what you're studying is actually a good financial decision compared to the other options you have.
Oh, but you must get an education. Bruh.
Next up, we have business. Now, a shitty business is one where you have, say, your little coffee truck and you go around selling coffees, but as soon as you're not there, you're not making any money. The coffees aren't getting sold. So that's the sort of business where you may be getting paid more for your time. Say a yoga instructor would be getting paid the big bucks, but you're not making any of that residual income. Whereas with a business like your classic dropshipping venture, once you've put in that work at the start, you don't need to actively manage it every day, and it will continue to operate mostly autonomously. So that's an unleveraged business versus a leveraged one. In terms of a business being something that you can do, the upside is that the leverage really doesn't have a limit. You can keep going until you become an Amazon, but the downsides are, from my understanding, it's extremely hard to start and run a business.
Starting a company is like eating glass and staring into the abyss.
So business is an option you should only pursue if you're extremely dedicated and willing to work harder than 99% of other people.
Work hard, like, every waking hour. That's the thing I would say, particularly if you're starting a company.
Now on to asset appreciation. This is anything where the term buy low, sell high can apply, and is anything from holding land to buying stocks or day trading to paintings, NFTs, and baseball cards. To invest in assets, you need to understand what market forces make prices go up and down. It's primarily supply and demand, but depending on exactly what you're investing in, you need to understand what changes the supply and demand. And there's also human nature getting in the way where we panic, sell, and FOMO buy. The advantage though is once you've figured out what market forces drive the price, then you can just buy and sell very infrequently, only when it makes sense to do so, and the rest of the time it doesn't take any effort at all. So the leverage for asset appreciation is basically infinite. I do want to say day trading is a special case of asset appreciation where the leverage is uncapped based on how much you put into your trades, but it is also a job where you have to constantly put in the work, otherwise you're not making anything. So effectively it is a job, but it has uncapped leverage as well. If you want to learn about day trading, Humbled Trader is a pretty good resource. Finally, we have content creation. Now, this is the same thing as being famous, being an influencer, or having a following. You're monetizing people's attention. Now, the content comes in two forms: education or entertainment. Mr. Beast or PewDiePie are examples of entertainment YouTubers, and people like Veritasium or Economics Explained are educational. Now there's also singers and actors, they're entertaining people, and there's people that make courses online, say your Skillshare courses. Content creation is usually the complete opposite of working in terms of leverage, because you get no pay up front and slowly get income over time, hopefully forever. So in summary, there are 4 different categories which all sources of income fit into. Working being the one with the least leverage, and asset appreciation having the most leverage. Let me know in the comments if there is a source of income that doesn't fit into these categories, but I couldn't think of one. So that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.